Hello everyone, TrendyFlea here, and welcome back to another video. Today I have heard something through the grapevine. I'm not sure if you can hear it. Hear it? Listen really closely. Do you hear it? It's another community letdown by the Hunt Showdown team. Let's see what this event's all about. I'm going to react to it and give you my thoughts. Not really going to watch the whole dev stream last time. I'm going to cut through some shit and I'm going to cut through all the BS, all the stuff I don't really care about, and we'll go from there. So, that being said, let's just get on to it. So let's go ahead and go. All right, I want to be right here. And let's see, the first stuff we're going to talk about, we don't care, we don't care, we don't care, we don't care. Don't care, don't care. So it's merch.
Bye.
Okay, cool. Love how that did not work. Okay.
And yeah, I highlight that are important. First of all, guys, we have new merch for the holidays, which you can still get if you are quick enough. And I can.
New merch? Holy crap! Just what the. That's just what we wanted. Now, if this merch is going to help you fix your crap and make the community happier, then I'm all for it. That's not what. Let's just move on to that. Port Sulphur Band album release. The people who make basically the band for Hunt Showdown has their album out now called, I think it's called. All right, so Port Sulphur, the band, Devil's March, the band of Hunt Showdown, released an album, so yay. So let's move on to other stuff. Let's see, event overview, okay.
Place for Dennis and Simon to take over mostly, and let's talk about the event overview.
Event highlights video available on all channels. Okay, let's just skip that. All right, so duration, it starts today and goes all the way to March. It's a pretty long event. So, okay, come to all platforms. Well, no, duh.
I think they just said that because I've been.
Okay, event overview, community feedback from last events. Events to experiment with new gameplay mechanics, new gameplay, and progressive change. All right, well, here's how I think about it. All they're going to care is about people, what they said about the events or events themselves. Like, they're the same progression system, the same this, same that. Oh, dude, it's too hard to get points if you can't play, which can be true. Experiment with new gameplay mechanics. Actually, that's a good way to use events. I also call it testing grounds. That's not for the live server, so I don't mind that. And new gameplay and progressive changes. I don't know what the hell that means, but probably hasn't changed because it's been working for the last 4 years. Let's just move on to event rules.
Yeah, so obviously we'll have a lot of stuff to show you, and then you will understand what Dennis really means by that. And yeah, let's dive into the base rules of the event, which is obviously similar to previous one, but let's quickly look through that, and maybe there's some few new things.
All right, what's this? All right, so it says gather points by complete activities, exploration, soul traps. So these things, kind of like snake things, presents, pumpkins, all that crap. So find them. This is probably more along the line of the finding the snake altars, if I had to guess. Playing the objective, well, of course, you know how many people don't do that. PvP, of course, and a new challenge system. So probably instead of summons that give you stuff, it gives you event. That's pretty cool. I think that's what they said.
New challenger system, which Anton will explain a little bit more in detail, because quite a bit of our event points will be generated from that system this time around.
Exactly, and we'll have a lot.
All right, so he literally said that the summons challenges was where we're going to get most of our event. Okay, so let's just hope the challenges are not stupid. Or I hope the challenges and the summons, or what I'm going to call them summons. The summons challenge is not like you need to kill 5 hunters with a Mosin Spitzer, and you're a blood rank 30. I hope it's something else, but we'll see.
A lot of slides explaining how that system exactly works, but yeah, first let's look at the original or usual methods. And first, let's just take a look at the soul traps, and maybe Simon, you can already tell us something about them, like what we are seeing here.
So the soul traps are the new big event prop we have for the game.
All right, so like I said, soul traps, altars, same thing. Let's move on.
So it's a hold.
All right, here's some gameplay.
So the soul trap big, and you can hide behind them.
Okay, so kind of armor.
So
Bet you it's pinnable. I bet you it's pinned. It can be pinned easily.
And then you get some 6.
Drops down, so not everyone can use it. Sweet. So once it's used, it's used. Cool.
And we have one more video to show.
I really have found that.
Oh, cool! Look at that. They have the red thing. So that's kind of neat.
Like disintegrate afterwards.
Yeah, and then another big part of the soul trap is that they contain the red clue mechanic. So if other hunters are nearby, you'll be able to note that because of this red glow and also the sounds.
Yeah, it's like a familiar sound, so if you know what a red clue is, you'll feel right at home here. And comes
with
to
honey,
understanding danger is nearby, which is actually kind of awesome because like it just gives you that same kind of enemy proximity readability that we have normally, just like a bit more consistently.
All right, that sound you heard, that do, it's not me, it's them.
Throughout, and I think that makes for some really interesting changes around these like soul traps, basically.
And in terms of spawn rate, about 2 or 3 spawn around a compound, so a bit like snakes, and so you'll have a lot of opportunities to get this mechanic working in game.
And one thing we haven't mentioned that.
All right, so one thing I'm concerned about right away. Actually, I'll let them talk. I'll just mute them. One thing I'm really worried about right away with this and the red is where you get your 6, 2, 3. You get some type of point value. Destroying it or collecting it. Who says you can't wrap? Let's see if they talk about this.
Of course, it has a fuse, so it's not that big of a deal.
What?
Basically, you can also destroy them, and then they act like a barrel in a sense. So if you stand next to them, it will deal about 100 damage to your hunter, and also.
All right, you just said it. Okay, so when you destroy like a snake thing or and then nothing happens, you can destroy those, and they act like a barrel. A weakened barrel of 100 damage. That's still 100 damage. Say hello to a lot of alert mines, baby. Maybe do some alert and alert poison combo. Not only did you get blown up, if you go for it, because the alert mine should blow it up right away. If it acts just like a barrel, then now you're poisoned or poison and bled on it. I think I'm just going to blow them up. He does the body good.
Also a bleeding effect.
Oh,
so
and bleeding.
Better not get too close to them, but you'll have to.
All right, so like I said, alert mines with poison mines. Boom, baby.
Risk that for getting event points, of course. But
right.
Of course, it has a fuse, so it's not that big of a deal.
So it's not like an instant explosion.
Variety, as you kind of have to see, like it's about risk reward. Like
it's not that big of a deal. It's a perfect way to ambush people who are trying to do event. Especially with 2 to 3 around. And now that people are going to camp those too. Watch when they get to the boss lair. They'll camp those instead. Just like they did just like they did in Serpent Moon. People actually did it. Oh, okay, here's the thing. So destroy them. So you blow them up from a distance to be safe, 3 points. You interact with it, you get 6. Blues and rifts, 10. Loot Hunter, 12. That's actually pretty cool. That's a lot. Banish Boss, 12. I think Banish the Boss should be higher, to be honest. I think it should be around maybe 15 or 20. If that's 30, that's extracting at least one with the bounty. So, in my opinion, between looting 3, 6, I would do 3, 6, 10, 15, 20, 30, and then whatever the hell that. So they're going to just talk about that.
But here is a breakdown of.
So that's a breakdown. That's what I would change on it. So typical breakdown. Let's see. Packs. What's this?
Sounds work.
All right.
And yeah, Dennis, there's another huge part.
All right. There's apparently, from what I'm understanding, there is packs. That's what they say about it.
Pacts, we call them, and
Factions
hunters are kind of pledging themselves to either of those pacts as they go. Some of them go for the first pact, which is the Infernal Pact. Then we have the second pact, which is the Lunar Pact, and the third pact, which is the Grounded Pact. Now, these three pacts, they are sort of connected to the lore and the story behind the entire Moon series of events. So some of you who have been enjoying the last events, they kind of like.
So tell me, chat in the comments below, how many of you actually went through the Serpent's Moon story? I planned on doing a video about it, but I lost it. So, who knows?
Know about some of the key figures, right?
You hear that fucking sound? That's not me. It's them. I promise you.
Right. We know about Kevin. We know about Mary. We know about Mr. Cherry. So these pacts, they kind of are either aligned with or against the schemes of Mr. Cherry and what he's up to. And so the Infernal Pact is kind of like the pro-Cherry faction, if you want to simplify it. They're all about.
Okay, well, let's see. Let's move on.
Like destruction, chaos, currency, which
pledge marks earned during gameplay. Pledge
is called the pledge marks. Now they're kind of earned during gameplay, and you can use them to pledge yourself to one of the three pacts.
So only 4 can be carried by each hunter. Okay.
Each hunter can be pledged anew, so you don't have to commit to, let's say, a particular pact at the beginning of the event. Every time you have a new hunter, they can choose which pact they want to pledge to as they earn their marks, their pledge marks, and then basically make the choice in gameplay.
Okay, so you
can have up to 4 of those pledge marks.
So that sounds like a good thing. So if I make a mistake, like, hey, I want to do Inferno, and I'm not liking what the Inferno has to offer, I can go to another one. That sounds.
Marks carried on them, so you can earn 4 of them and carry them on you. However, you can only ever get.
So maximum of 3 can be earned in a single match. So that kind of forces you to play the same hunter twice, if you want to do the maximum 4. So I'm going to figure out why there's 4 and what the meaning is where only 3 can be used. So we'll find out.
3 of them at the same time in the mission, right? There's 3 opportunities, and basically this is like the rule of firsts. So it's like the first time you have 35 event points in that particular mission, you get 1 of those pledge marks. Or the first time when you banish like your first boss, basically, and when you first loot your first hunter that you.
All right, so you collect 1 pledge by just getting randomly 35 event points, killing a boss. Okay, well, guess what? A boss is 30. So time you get to the boss, you should have at least 2 pledge marks, and then by looting your first down. Okay, but you can only earn 3 in 1 match and get the 4th one on the second. So
either killed or found. So again, this is about like collecting and exploration for the event points. It's about banishing, which is the objective, and it's about the dead hunter, which is the PvP component, similar to what we have with the event points as like the 3 pillars. We also try to follow up here.
All right, so one thing I noticed about the Serpent Moon event is some people are more dedicated to finding the event points than actual play, event point farm. We'll see.
Which means you can get up to 3 of these points. However, since you can carry up to 4, maybe you need to play more rounds in order to be able to actually get to the maximum that the hunter can have, and what that is an effect will give you. We'll talk about it in a second.
Exactly. So as you said, let's talk about that right now. First of all, how do you use the pledge marks that you collect?
Yeah, so in the world, we have.
All right, it says pledge to 1 of 3 packs of supply points, earn pack exclusive. I'm going to have to stop you right there, Slick. I'm worried about one thing on that one. This dev team has a bad habit of making stuff super OP. And I don't like it. Hey, I'll be right back. All right, so as I was saying, I'm really concerned about how they're going to, these traits are going to be, because they have a bad habit of making certain traits OP right away. We will see. Let's see what they have to say.
Of pledge boxes. So it's like 3 of them, 1 per pact. And by interacting with them, if the player owns 1 pledge mark on their hunter, if they already earned 1 pledge mark, they can initiate basically their pledge and then commit themselves to one of the 3 factions.
Yeah, meanwhile, we are showing this on a video, as
Yeah.
said.
So you can see, like, it's the internal pledge then, for example, and we have the ground in the center and the lunar on the right-hand side. In this case, we're just using the lunar one. And
wait a minute. Hold up. Did you just see that? I know I did. What is this? What is this? I know they said like traits and stuff. So I don't know.
Pledge yourselves. As you can see on the top left, this is where it shows you that you have 1 out of 4 marks. Also important.
Oh, 1 of 4 marks. Okay. So it is a trait. So in exchange for all pledge mark, your hunter doesn't lose a health chunk when down. So I question if chasing these pledge marks are even worth it. Now, kill grunts with knife. Earn hunter XP. Deal damage to hunter. Okay. So the challenges are like the summons, but I bet you eventually be like, deal damage to enemy hunters with Spitzer, Amber, Obra. Like, dude, I don't want to unlock no.
Important to understand here is that you do not consume the marks. The pledge marks remain on the hunter. They're just a token that you need to have in order to be able to pledge. They're being used in different ways, and that's what we talk about then as we go through the different rewards that the player gets. Now, in addition to that, if you want to show it one more time, or okay?
Yeah, we just have 2 videos. Let's look at it again then.
Yeah,
the first, yeah. So again, you can see the 3 different pledge boxes at the supply.
Mark, if you have 1 mark and you do it, you get 1 trait. So
okay, so pledge to one of the 3 packs of supply points and earn 1 pack exclusive trait, 1 pledge mark for the initial pack.
Each of the pacts has 2 unique traits linked to them. They're exclusive for this event. And by pledging your first.
All right, so you get the second one, which is pretty cool. Second one, if you bring in a higher level hunter, so you have to have 4. So it kind of, that might, if you're really trying to work around these pledge marks and see if they're actually game changing, you will be more apt to keep them around.
First time there, you can get this initial trait. However, if you have maxed out your hunter, so if your hunter is basically having earned 4 of those pledge marks and has them on them, you can also deepen your pledge, and you can therefore like interact 1 more time with the pledge box and then get the second trait in addition. So that way you have the chance to kind of maximize. As I mentioned before, you can only get 3 pledge marks per.
All right, so you have to have 4. You had to, and that's basically a second time around. You already deepened. Okay.
Pledge we did.
All right.
All right. Let's see. Oh, I don't know what that means. I know what that means. That's like their pleasure. Makes no sense.
That sounds good.
Actually, there's some notes to mention here. First of all,
yes. Let's talk about that maybe first.
Yeah.
There's also some legendary hunters, so they already made their choice, and that's because.
All right, so kind of like how when you're doing the serpent quest, you had certain hunters. I bet you, if they have that, they get extra event. They're just not going to mention, but I bet you there's like a 5% boost or 10% boost or something.
Because they're connected to this by the lore side, right? So those hunters, you'll see them marked with a little icon there, basically in the legendary recruit.
So lunar, by fire
screen. If you recruit any of those hunters, you have to choose that particular pact for them. You cannot choose the other ones. It's really just because by story, by lore, they are all.
All right. All right, here we go. Let's get into the traits.
For, with the one pledge mark, you can acquire it, and the other one you can acquire with 4. When you deepen your pledge to the same pact.
Exactly. So let's talk about the first trait then. So with one pledge mark, Infernal gives you the trait called Fire Eater.
All right, Fire Eater. In exchange for one pledge mark, when a health chunk is burnt away, it is instead instantly restored. I can see how this could be used very offensively on, let's say, the spider or the assassin, especially if you have a salve skin on and just set yourself on fire. Just run around the compound. Fight the assassin with fire. As long as you have a 50 HP bar and salve skin on, you'll have a full 100 health of fire. Kill this.
So what Fire Eater does is that in exchange for one pledge mark, when a health chunk is burned away, it is instead instantly restored. So that basically means that Infernal,
which is going to be good for me because that's how I lose to the butcher all the time.
Is all around the theme of fire, and what it gives you, as you can already read from the description, is the ability to protect yourself from fire. So for example, you get downed, someone burns you. As long as you have marks on you, you can kind of like keep on going because it will kind of restore.
All right, so it says as long as you have a pledge mark. So if I have 3, I get down and burned like it happens all the time when I play with my higher skill friends, Marathon Pro. His link will be in the description below for both his channels, YouTube and Twitch. Check it out. Check them out. So if I lose, so they burn away 1, I lose mark. So there's a chance I can burn 75 to 150. That's not terrible, but that's an exchange of pledge marks.
That just burned out and lost chunk for the cost of one of those marks. So you can kind of keep going for a bit longer. It's also very interesting as you move around fire, because obviously it doesn't make it as punishing once the chunk is gone.
All right, I want to see this shit in action. Whoa.
First trait, kick that trait deactivates.
Untouched. Yeah, you could actually see it in this video exactly as you talked about it. Right. It instantly restores that one chunk, and as Dennis said, you did lose one pledge mark, and now you will lose the other one as well instantly.
And then he loses
it. Even goes with the last chunk that you have. So as long as you have marks, you keep on going. So that's really interesting with Infernal, like being all around the fire. Like it makes fire something you.
All right, so kind of like it, so it's not permanent.
Than normal, and gives you keep cover up.
All right, that's cool. Let's go to the next trait that you talked about. If you have 4 pledge marks, called Flame Touch, you have 4 pledge marks, you can't catch on fire even when down, but your health chunk still burns at a slower rate in flame.
Deepen your pledge if you have 4.
Okay, let's see a V on that. All right, okay, see down here?
Can I see like the glimmer is still there, right? Like it still eats away your health slowly, but it doesn't.
Very slowly. That's like...
Correct, and Dennis, what would happen if one chunk was lost here? Then there will be 1 pledge mark consumed, and then...
Yeah, so if you are losing the chunk, then the first trait kicks in, right? And Death Eater.
All right, so that's not bad. So basically, from what they're talking about, least for the Infernals, this trait takes precedence over this one. Because this one won't work unless you have 4. So if you have 4 and you lose a chunk, you get restored right away. It says it's restored. You're down to 3, and this turns off. Okay, that's a decent balancing. I'm not going to lie. That's pretty decent balancing. It's kind of, that's nice balancing. I apologize, my dogs.
Then takes
All right,
away.
let's move on to, let's see. Lunar traits, okay. In exchange for all pledge marks, your hunter doesn't lose a health chunk when down. So that's not bad, but so you, as long as you have a minimum 1, you don't lose a chunk, but you can lose 1 to 4 to not lose a chunk. I can see how this trait sucks. I mean, this is one of the new traits. This is one's probably on the lower tier skills.
About healing, it's about restoration, so that traits can
blah, blah, blah. So this guy has,
so that's a very big one. You can also see, like in the video, when a hunter is being hit and he has a mark, like his little, see like a little particle effect.
Okay,
there,
that's cool.
that
So you
kind of
know when
tells
they
them,
lost
okay,
some
well,
pledge.
the mark has just been basically consumed in the process. So that's just for a bit of readability that you also understand if someone else has it.
On a strategy-wise, team composition, if I was going to do, let's say I was going to play with Marathon Pro again, and I wanted to be a Lunar, I would not get more than one pledge. I would try to keep it at 1 pledge at all, which is going to be hard because it's your first 35 points, but you lose all. So your best bet would not to go for pledge points or event points if you want to play the Lunar first trade, because it takes all of them, 1 or all. So if you have 1, you're not losing. If you have 3, you lose everything. Kind of a super high risk, low reward. Because Necromancer's thing is, I mean, yeah, I won't be a body shot, but hate to say this, I don't lose the body shots half the time when I'm playing with them.
Exactly. I think that's a good point to actually.
All right, let's see what they're talking. I don't think let's talk new one. Indomitable. If you have 4 marks, health regenerates continuously until fully. That sounds stupid powerful.
Is basically similar to what a regeneration shot does. So while this is active, it basically means that health regenerates continuously across chunks. There's difference, however, to how a regeneration shot works. A regeneration shot, as you know, like it has an instant effect. So the moment you basically take damage, it starts regenerating. However, it only does so at half the speed of normal regeneration. In turn, Indomitable still has the same delay before even regeneration starts. However, it does so at the normal speed. So if you manage to maintain...
Okay, so they say there is a delay between abdominal start regening, but it's your normal regen rate. Okay.
Take 4 pledge marks on your hunter, so you cannot get downed because then you lose all of them, which also then shuts down Indomitable. But while you have 4 pledge marks on your hunter, you will have this additional effect, and that makes it really interesting.
So on probably a trait standpoint, if you're running Ghoul, which you get health on any damage, I mean any monster, any way, any distance, that plus that is pretty strong. Let's see if it stacks. If it stacks with regen shot, that's a no-go.
Interesting. It doesn't really stack with regeneration
Answer
because regeneration kind of still overrides it. So I guess
all right, so that's good. So if you have a regen shot and you use it, he says it overrides Indomitable. So Indomitable shuts down. And I can see how this is very powerful, but with the first one, you lose everything. So very, very, very high risk. I don't even call it a high reward. I'll call it at least a mid reward, because I mean, you die once. And like I said, in the higher MMR levels, like I'm not in, I get 1-2 tapped all the time. Sometimes I just get one. All right, let's move on. All right,
Let's
random
look at
traits.
the first one for one pledge mark.
Death
so
cheat.
Death Cheat, that is the first one. So as you can see, Grounded already does things a little bit differently. It's more wild.
In exchange for all pledge marks, you will not lose your hunter if you fail to extract. I can almost see this being stupid strong for solo players or prestiging players, because do you get to keep? I guess I have to listen to it more, but do you get to keep your gear, or it's just a hunter? I mean, I hate to say it, if I lose a level 20 hunter, I'm not going to hit. I usually retire them after 25 either way, anyway. So if they're at 24 and I play them again, they hit level 35. I'm fine. I'm not going for all 50. So let's see if you get to keep your gear at least. Which shouldn't really matter, because some people who don't prestige just have so much damage.
Wild card, it's more like neutral, unaligned. And Death Cheat is basically that for exchange of all of your pledge marks, so similar to what we just talked about with Relentless for Lunar, it takes away all of your marks when you completely lose your hunter. However, your hunter is not lost in that time. He still loses all of the gear. He still remains at the whatever few health chunks you had left at this point.
All right, so basically it's just revive. You're basically revived to your near revived and extract right away. This trait is more of a solo build if you're especially, or if you're trying to do the level 50 thing. But I'd say this is more of a. So far, this sounds like a solo style trait system.
So
all right, let's move on since you can't keep your equipment. Let's see what Shadow says.
Shadow. So Shadow does things also very differently.
If you have at least 4 pledge marks, monsters can't see you, but they can still hear you. So like a super OP beast face.
And if you have those 4 pledge marks again, as you can already start seeing a pattern there, but like across the different pacts, right? With the second one, always requiring you to have the 4. Monsters, like so your basic AI in the world, they will not be able to attack you anymore. So that makes you very, very, very strong, being able to just walk around them. However, there's a catch that they will still hear you. So they will still get stirred up by footsteps you make or by shooting you do, etc. So it will still take a bit of effort to kind of move through a compound undetected. So if you want to sneak up, that AI might still just go crazy. They will not have you as a target because they don't see you, they don't know you're there.
This would be a great thing to get to run past beehives or emulators just to piss off compound.
Basically, in their
especially on chasing
like, psychic
hunters.
shadow or whatever you want to call it. However, anyone else, they might still get stirred up by that hive going aggro or by that armored going aggro. So you still want to be careful around it. At least you do not have to fear much from them while you have your.
All right, so like I said, it's beast face for AI, for the AI, not the actual birds and shit. So beast face with this, and you have some silenced weapons. This would be a good solo. Like I said, grounded sounds very solo like, very solo heavy, solo oriented, like not team at all.
Your four pledge marks. However, again, once you get killed and you lose your pledge marks again, this trade also shuts down. So you want to make sure you maintain those 4 marks. And after having used, for example, Death Cheat and lost all your marks to save your hunter, you now need to again first get 4 pledge marks before we can benefit from Shadow again.
Yeah, it's important to know that it does not affect bosses though, so just regular monsters.
That's good. So that's good to a point. I mean, I'm actually glad because if you could just hide in a corner with a boss with a bow or crossbow and just sit there, go pew pew, and walk up to him and bump into him to grab all your stuff. That's so. I'm glad it works on the environment AI. But I have like I said, Grounded. It seems like a really, really strong solo only. Lunar, I can see it more of a team, but maybe one person rocking Lunar and the rest rocking Inferno. Like one Inferno, and like 2 Inferno, 1 Lunar, or on duos 1 each. But Grounded seems the way to go if you're running solo. If you're doing a solo trio, like I've been doing recently a few times, I would really think I'll be picking Grounded.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Let's.
have heard them, right?
So it's a bit like having like an invisibility cloak, I guess, so they can.
Okay, nothing there. Oh, okay. Let's see. Okay, additional trait effect. So if you are pledged to this, you get additional trait. Souskin increases the regenerative speed of partially burned health track. Hunter must be pledged. So I like that, but I also think it should slow down burning still because you're Inferno. So I rather take the increase the regenerative speed and say decreases the speed of which you are burned even further. But then again, you have that thing. So, but the other two traits, I can see Souskin and Inferno will be very synced. I can see that.
Partially burned health chunks.
Okay, moving on. Resilience. Your hunter is revived with a full health. Hunter must be pledged. Okay, this is where I can see people like me would rock Lunar in a fight with Marathon Pro. Like I said, really awesome YouTuber and Twitch streamer. Is check down below for his link in my description. So that's like revive with full health. That is awesome, and resilience is not that expensive. I usually rock it. I should try to buy that right away when I get those 2 points out of the fucking what are those things called? Like the daily XP pass. You get those random things. I get a lot of 2s. That's not bad. I like that. Let's see what. When playing solo, you can revive your downed hunter. Hunter must be. I just said it. Grounded is a solo build. Oh my god, with Necromancer, which is kind of a hot mix. Gives you a reason to play solo.
And you do have Necromancer, which normally you really don't equip as a solo player, but now there's a chance to actually do that. You can self-revive. Now, this follows the same rules as normal revive does, which means you kind of lose your health chunk.
Okay.
And you cannot combine this with the Lunar Pact as it's grounded specific, right?
That's
so you don't
good.
have any of
See, that's good. I'm glad grounded and Lunar can't think together. That would have been stupid.
Advantages like not losing your health chunk when down. So all of these normal rules apply. And when you're on the death screen, there's going to be a little countdown, and after that is over, you can press the button to self-revive yourself. Now, if you've been set on fire, you'll continue to burn, obviously, as you're down. If someone put like traps on you, you'll trigger those traps as you snap it. All the normal rules apply. But it does give solo players specifically a chance to kind of come back from an unexpected angle, and in theory.
Okay. I can see don't self-revive in the middle of a firefight unless you know it's safe. So it's still the same. Okay, so if someone downs you and throws a fucking poison grenade, you're dead if you keep on trying to revive. So the goal would probably be still have someone hit you with well, you have to be solo. So that means you have to be the last one living. Oh my god, ooh. That is actually strong and a good hit MMR fight. Because if someone's running grounded, like let's say me, for example, and I somehow survived the last fight and I try my best, they kill me, they can just loot my shit, think I'm dead, and then I can revive her. As long as they're not burned. That's the only thing that sucks, because higher MMR people burn almost instantly. Alright, let's move on. New event weapon, sweet. Springfield M1892 Crag, new long ammo bolt action rifle.
So the Crag is a new long ammo rifle we're adding to the game. It has
okay, so it is a 5+1 in the chamber 6. Okay.
Ammo or count of 5 in the internal magazine and 1 inside of the chamber, and then an extra 6 bullets as well.
Okay, so it has 6, so 12 total, fast rate of fire and reload speed.
It has a fast rate of fire.
I'm worried.
And a good reload speed, so it's pretty much an all-around very good performing weapon, but that comes at the cost of lower
damage. What do you mean by lower damage? if you lose a large health chunk and you're down, does it a 120 shot kill you because you're at 100? You lose a 25 health chunk, you're at 125. Where you're basically dead to anybody after getting shot by a long ammo after. So I don't know about this. Let's see it go into action.
Record it for us. So what do we see?
So
Fast.
it's a very fast firing weapon, as you can see.
All right, so like I said, my concern with this, guys, is they don't tell you what the lower damage is. So if it's going to have to be stronger than medium ammo, but it will have to be the weakest long. It would have to be, or almost it's almost worth being a medium ammo centennial or so. So I don't know. Let's see. Move on. Okay. All right, so full-sized. Okay, so Lament Mark II carbine is a full-size variant of Lamont pistol, slightly increased overall stats. So probably range will be handling stuff like that. Single medium barrel shotgun shot. So is it like a mini Romero or a mini Codwell, or is it a full-length Codwell? Slightly longer reload time.
So what do we exactly mean with like slightly increased overall stats, and what about the medium shotgun shot?
So in general, you have a bigger or like effective range, and as well the sway is lessened, and you have overall more accurate shots, and a slightly faster fire rate.
And yeah, maybe let's take a look at the. And how about the shotgun? What does it compare to?
Yeah, so a big important part here is that I've also seen in questions already is this as strong as the Romero? And this is not the case. It's more akin to a shotgun round from a Caldwell round.
All right, so a shotgun from Caldwell Revival, which does 185 damage. It's still at range, one tap to you at the body. But I can see me liking this gun. I mean, the fact that it has with a Romero, I'm going to call it price. I ought to see the stats, but if it does a full damage Call Revival, this would be my go-to gun. Martini. Okay, so next weapon is the Martini Henry Iron Sight. So it looks like it has a self-reloading or auto-reload. Makeshift repeating rifle, add external magazine, obstruct field of view, remains in ADS between shots. So, okay, so let's check this shit.
Back and then here, like obviously.
All right, so that is
Ferguson, for showcasing this one in one of his streams. Amazing weapon. We thought this would be a fitting thing for the game.
I mean,
we have been showing it and replicating it well enough for you, Shaf.
Let's hope so. But of course, the fast fire rate comes at a cost.
That's such a long reload.
Speed. It's very
Holy
much
crap!
Like
Look at that. That is so obstructed. That's like you're a left peeker's nightmare. Holy shit!
The Alamo in that sense.
Could you actually tell us about the reload? Because
I like it though. I mean, honestly, look at that. That's pretty. It just the thing pops up and knocks the thing and drops right in. That's pretty cool. I like that. Okay, so the next we have is a Winfield Centennial Trauma reinforced stock for combat. Blunt melee damage similar to the sledgehammer, which is pretty cool. Slightly increased recoil. I can see that because all the weight's down there. When it fires, okay. Not sure if I'll ever use that variant, to be honest, because sledge, you don't really need to use blunt damage. There's not many things. New custom ammo. Okay, what is this about?
Easy one, I must say. So
So yeah, let's start with the bomb lands, right?
Okay,
so
bomb lands,
First
sweet.
time we're introducing custom ammo for the bomb lands, and this one is going to be very interesting because it just opens up a different set of options for the players how they want to.
All right, so right away, main concern: bomb lands is not used. It's nowhere near in the meta, so this is going to be a super meme loadout. Steel ball.
That's kind of like
Daily burst of steel balls. So shotgun. So instead of a RPG sticking grenade, it's a
similar to what you would expect, for example, from penny shot.
Okay.
Giving you like a gets it again.
Yeah, always.
Turn this up a little bit.
Let me add some volume so they can listen to it.
So like the normal reload as you've seen, and the whole thing is spring loaded.
So kind of like a silent shotgun. It's almost like this. Not bad, not bad, not bad. You might see more bomb lances in there.
Like this is one of the advantages this one has because it technically is a silent shotgun shot, right? By just propelling these.
No wall pin, which is good. I like that. So it depends on the analytics. If it shoots right away from that,
it will kind of like all the other shotguns.
It's probably going to have a shotgun, or hopefully shotgun.
When not to use it. There, right? Like the dart that's being fired out. It kind of disintegrates and then.
I mean, that's pretty far away.
The debris falling off the left and right.
Whoa! Is that Dragon's Breath?
It kind of like balances
for the bomb lands.
Dragon's Breath. Oh.
So other
to the sides, you can see like the debris falling off the left and right as it leaves the housing.
I mean, that looks like it's about 15, 20 meters away, and look how high group that was.
Types of bomb lands custom ammo.
Okay, so that's the bomb.
Quite cool. And I actually really like how the reloads are because you can see the specific let's get the bolt or charge being loaded. It's like
not bad.
Option. So that gives you most.
So new custom ammo, Springfield 1866 with poison ammo. I like. Axe and claw, poison, and full metal. Hey, it deserved the full metal. I don't know about poison, to be honest. I liked it with Dum Dum, but poison. Springfield needed the because that gives it a nice good round. You can get bleed and poison now, and I bet you they'll allow it. I wonder if they'll. Let's go back.
Gonna there to kill people very likely, but it can set up the foundation for a good charge.
Awesome. And yeah, here we just have a picture of like comparing the different types of bomb lands.
All right, so let's see. I went ahead. I want to see if in the Springfield you can bring, because you can bring in multiple custom ammos. If you can do bleed and poison, that would be fucking ball. Especially if you bring like the compact.
But we also have some more custom ammo added other than the bomb lands. Obviously, this was like the really special one, I think. But let's talk about the other ones very quickly.
Because
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say the regular Springfield. So it is not the Krag, but the regular Springfield gets poison ammo.
Yeah,
I like that. I like it.
Makes it a bit more
I like it a lot.
People have been asking about this one for quite some time. So poison ammo for the Springfield as part of the unlock tree, and then for the packs and the packs claw, obviously, we also added poison ammo and for metal jacket as an option. So that gives you mostly like ways for you to combine loadouts and.
So, in my honest opinion, the PAX still needs a lot of love. It is a very slept-on gun.
Being a bit more reliable for fanning specifically, and then with the additional ammo choices, maybe it will end up in some of the.
You guys are already familiar with the poison ammo on other weapons of days.
Wild Carcass, a map conditions that will occur randomly.
Sunny morning.
Okay, so it's randomly in the RNG pool of all the shit that we deal with. Okay.
However you want to call them. We have those regular times of day, but the wildcard conditions will be a bit different than that, and they will only occur randomly on the maps. And the first, it will start periodically during events, which is during Devil's Moon for the very first one. So as we will see in a second, it will be called the Inferno, and this is our first iteration of wildcard conditions. So again, your feedback will be very important on this one, how you guys feel about having these kind of changes.
All right, so what I'm worried about this is it's initially periodically during events. So does this mean that players can start it, or does it just happen randomly?
Exactly.
So being
I mean, I already saw the YouTube on this one. It looks pretty cool. This will probably be very really occurs during the. Okay, so this has happened. Does it happen like out of the balloon wherever they just?
What that does is
I'm good.
specifically for this event, it creates like great opportunities to try out the infernal traits. You might have guessed like that might be some good synergy there, but also on its own, just having the three maps being changed completely by having larger areas set on fire, it opens up new paths. It maybe closes your favorite path a little bit, and actually you may want to look for alternatives. It gives you a chance to kind of hide amongst the flames or between.
So what I'm worried about that is it says it closes off certain good like bushes and opens up other ones. That just tells me whoever's guarding, like right now, that bridge, this area right here. So if I'm coming this way to here or this way, jumping down and going right there, that area is prime suspect for long ammo sniping.
Non-traversable, so you can't go through them, but usually they are like little islands and just like paths between them, so you can kind of still maneuver your way around some of these large.
Now you will have the chance because we'll play it for you. So let's take a look at the Inferno trailer quickly.
But we already seen it, so I already seen it, so you guys can find that on YouTube. Oh, actually, is this the real trailer? Maybe. Yeah, so yep, I just called it. Certain areas are going to be prime suspect that sniping. So, like I said, the main things I'm concerned about with this is, does it actually change? Will it actually change? Who the hell is this? Ew. Oh, great. Somebody with a fucking opto. Roll the crown. Fucking hate those guns. So, does it actually change it that much? Or is it just, this makes the same areas that are less traversed, less traversed? I'm scared about people's graphics cards. Will it handle it? Will mine handle it? I don't know. I only have an RTX 2070 Super.
Awesome. Yeah. And also, like, I see everyone talking about our music as well. Again, you can, I'm good. Sorry.
Apologies for my dog barking.
So long. I know.
Okay. Challenges system replaces and improves upon the summonses automatically selected and completed. Automatically selected and completed. So automatically selected and completed. So it's just gives you randomly challenges. Okay. So maybe, hopefully, it's turned down.
Won't have to like pick it up from a special menu.
All right. So I have to see what they say about that part.
By default, and you can just go to the mission and yeah, play and complete these challenges. So basically, during this requires a lot of micromanagement. Also, it had some balancing issues. That's why we basically decided to rework it and make it way more user-friendly. So a new challenges system, which is going to replace the summon system, will be working like automatically. So for every task that you have, you won't have to like pick it up from a special menu.
Okay, so that's okay. But so as long as it's not stupid, like I mentioned, like kill so many people with the Obrecht Spitzer or the Minder Springfield Flechette.
Because we're going to keep this system, you can complete these challenges to earn star, and this is very similar to what we had in the past for summons, or for example what we have for quest lines as well. By earning these stars, you can complete some special milestones, and we're going to talk about in a minute on the next slide. And similar.
Okay.
So on the bottom part of the screen, you can see 4 challenges. So all of these challenges are active by default. So you.
All right. So this is where I was talking about. I won't be able to prestige until I finish this damn quest line, because it says deal damage to enemy hunters using poison bullets. I don't like that. Get rid of the fucking custom ammo shit out of it.
Need to just go to the mission, and they will be like completed automatically. No needs to pick them up from the special menu or select or yeah, whatever. So for each of this challenge, you can earn 1 or 2 stars based on the type of the quest, and basically we have 4 different types of quests. So the first one, which is PvE type of quest. The second one is kind of mixed. There is some core gameplay elements like searching for clues. Already like some 3 stars, you will get a reward for this specific milestone. So as you can see on the screen, if you can go 1 slide back, for 9 stars, for example, you can get 800 event points.
Not bad. Not bad at change.
It's a lot of event points. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
That's a lot of event points.
So that's
And,
1, 2,
talking about the
2,
difficulty,
4, 6.
we
That's 6 right there.
also did some changes in here. We tweaked the system, so we believe that these challenges are going to be somewhat challenging.
Can
but,
reshuffle.
not,
Okay,
too
cool. I bet you.
difficult,
It'll cost
and
blood bonds.
we are going to keep an eye on all of the left side of the screen. Don't like to use pistols for the third task. You can select this task and you can reshuffle.
All right, so it says 3 stars.
Total, and for each milestone, you can get from 400 to 900 event points. In total, there should be around 6,000. Don't remember exact number. 6,000.
That's insane. Let's move on.
I think if you have the battle pass, take a look at.
Free and battle pass progression, more rewards than ever before. That's
Yeah.
okay. What get? I don't care about the charm. Additional event points through Devil's Moon event exclusive challenges. Okay, whatever. Oh, that's okay. The bot one, you get 10 event levels right away. Okay. Additional event push through. Okay.
We'll have like a whole section full order.
And as I already, you can already see
new weapons, legendary hunter, 3 reward. That's he looks alright. Oh, another high bomb. Cool. Some type of shot. Concertina. Oh, I don't really care about. I don't care about the charm. The rook is awesome. And it looks like a hand cannon Romero.
Some weapons that Dennis and Simon mentioned before. That are going
so here's the battle pass. Oh, you get this creepy ass flamed girl. Fuck. I mean, okay. Legendary weapons, all the new ones. Yeah, loot all the new ones except for a Spitfire, and I'm not sure if that's a Vitality or if that's a regen shot. Okay.
That you basically can unlock.
I mean, I really don't care about charms because I don't whip them like.
Yeah, and the only
quite balanced, not so grindy, and I can expect that it's going to be like pretty entertaining, and yeah, with you know, like some effort, probably expect something.
Rewards that you said, or like unlockables. This is with the battle pass unlock, the Serpent Moon Memento weapon charm.
Yeah, I mean that looks absolutely amazing, and yeah, I really like this connection with the previous event. So now we have this opportunity to pick up something that that happened like in the past, and yeah,
and the only way to get it is by getting the battle pass this time.
Yes.
So looks really cool. And yeah, let's talk about the event progression that you already mentioned. And you mentioned the levels of the battle pass and that you get 10 levels with the premium. But how do the levels differ and how do they work this time around?
Okay, so yeah, I can
Linear event progression, okay. I'm just going to skip through the rest of this stuff because this recording is already probably about an hour long.
Collecting clues when with every level you had to earn more and more and more
books and how people progress through it. So maybe you could talk us through it a bit. So what we see.
So
now?
thousand.
On the screen, you basically can see the main event screen. It looks somewhat similar to what we had in the past. However, it looks. I personally think it looks much better with all of these like 3D backgrounds and stuff. Looks really cool. So, and as you can see on the bottom side, there is some of these icons, some of these rewards are marked with keys, and that basically means that this type
premium.
of reward is hidden behind the battle pass.
Or the premium.
Yeah, the rest of them are available just
so every 1,000 is
progression.
okay.
That's right.
15 chapters.
All right, so we talked about the battle
upgrade points, so to make it a bit more affordable, it will give you plus 10% of a booster. Then we have event legendary hunters.
I thought though.
And we can see a list on this.
We have some sort of mechanisms where people can boost their progress. What is it about this time?
So for event boosters, some things are the same as it was before, but some things we are changed quite significantly.
The sad part is, I don't think I ever used event trait.
First of all, the classic event trait, Shiny, which previously cost 10 upgrade points. Now we reduced the price to 6 upgrade points, so to make it a bit more affordable. It will give you plus 10% of a booster. Then we have event legendary hunters, and we can see a list on the screen. Lady Pershta, the upcoming DLC.
Okay, I got the Witchnicker. I have that. I think I have Skinflint. So okay.
The Ochenkov's widow, which is going to be
I might buy her eventually, but I'm going to do the battle pass first.
Then you can say that from time to time we're going to have this
as well, which are available in the.
It is possible right now to bundles. So for these players who missed our previous holidays events, Blood and Ice and the Winter Solstice with the Skinflint and with the Devil's Advocate, so all of items, legendary weapons and hunters from these events are going to be available during the whole event this time.
So here's a real question. When can I get to play Doctor back?
Yeah, I see a lot of people have, but we'll also have a slide showcasing it.
Funeral Dirge, that looks...
The Weapon Charms bundle, including Pants Head, the Tarnish Wing, and Lock.
Don't go there.
In one, but again, we'll take a look at those as well. And the three...
I mean, I'm not going to spend 1,000.
So the first is the Winter Solstice bundle. I believe that's from last year, right, Anton?
Yes,
okay.
That's right.
Yeah, and so you can get quite a lot separately.
Okay.
And
let's see.
Behind them, because that would spoil some of the fun in the event as well. So let's just take a quick look on.
Yeah, I'm trying to just try this up now because now I'm really don't care. I'm actually losing my.
These are all in order of unlock. So starting with the Iron Arrowhead Weapon Charm.
Okay.
This is the tragic thing. I never
Vitality shot.
Larger parts of
got that.
Yeah, no.
Got that's a pretty cool looking charm, but I don't give a crap. Got that. Looks pretty cool.
I feel like everything has this like a bit of widow, also known as Mary from the story.
Chenkov's widow.
Although like a bit scary, not gonna lie.
No, I mean, if they didn't do that to her face, I
the Infernal Pact.
I think it'd be pretty
basically supporting Mr. Cherry's plans and endeavors.
And she holds the crag actually, so.
Yeah, I like that. Like that the texture is changed into
What are those, bees or oil? I don't know. Fuck.
I think it's a bit more interesting than the original one.
Definitely, yeah.
Oil looks like.
Can't wait to see it.
Oh, fireball! It's probably firebombs. Oh, yeah. I was thinking about bees.
Then we have a
trip mine, cool.
Trip mine called the Susha.
Damn.
Very nice.
Yeah, really cool looking as well.
More charms.
So feathery, birdie style. So
Can't have enough of those.
I have so many hand cannons, not even funny.
I mean,
Yeah,
Quite fun.
he's like the champion of the Luna.
A lot of new things to play around with. New weapons, new variants, new legendaries for everything. I mean, not everything, but like a lot of things that we didn't even have legendaries for, like, which is the level 50 unlock. And
I like
again,
this. This looks pretty
heavy
cool.
minus from the lore, but the Fast Saint is the name of the legendary hunter.
Big person already, so
Yeah,
very
that's
to
pretty
see.
cool.
Pistol, which is Kevin's personal AM UTC.
Okay,
so,
anything left on the scrap?
Grenades type of things, right? Just like
And no. Okay, guys, that is the end of this reaction thought. So my main reaction or main surprise is the wild card, but I can see how it's actually gonna be more annoyance because that's probably gonna put a lot of graphical brawl on your graphics cards. If it's not up to snuff, good luck. Oh, I might be even worried. I might have to actually turn my graphics down from high to like low again. Pack traits. I can see how they're. I can see how they have a high risk, high reward type of system. I like how the ground is very solo based. Well, maybe the problem with how I play most of the time to be solo YOLO in the. Wow, I'm just talking. So my main concerns. A lot of money that they dumped in making skins and hunters. Plus this wild card. All this this shit that they have revamped. A lot of time, a lot of money. Fix the basics. Fix the basics. Take a year off. I will quote you. Ubisoft did this once for about a year with Rainbow Six Siege. They literally said, we are not producing any more additional content, no more skins, no more balance. We are doing nothing but bug fix. Because that game was about to get shut down. They were about to shut down the server because it was so bad. So they spent a year doing nothing but hotfix and patch it. And then after that year, it went fine. And people are still playing it. It's still a very popular game. It's still, and now they have heroes and balance changes. But they did hot fixes and patches nonstop. Do that, Crytek. Tell your dev teams and stuff like, hey, everyone collab and fucking figure out this code and shit. Fix it. Fix your servers. Try to increase its pick rate and pull rate so trades and desyncing doesn't happen. Your audio still needs work. You have a lot. You guys are trying to push out content for and I get it. But you gotta start investing in your core mechanics. And honestly, it's time. I think it's time to upgrade your core mechanics. Losing a chunk from health just because you get down, get rid of it. I'll be okay with losing a chunk because I'm burned. That's fine. Not because I just get shot and then my partner kills that person and their partner and then picks me up and now I'm down 25 to 50. That's. I'm not burned. On that, I can see a lot of these traits, the Southkin trait being reworked, the Necro being reworked. I can see it actually being reworked naturally, where I would say if you are solo, or a solo, you can self-revive. I can see some of those traits from the event be actually put in, just higher, maybe like this, the first ones you get, not the second ones. So we'll see how the new weapon. I am kind of concerned about the new Springfield, how it shoots very fast, has a pretty good recoil recovery. They say that it's weaker, but by how much? So that's just my. so far on the event standpoint, I think it looks great. I think it looks fun. I think I like how even the casual hunter or hunt player can probably max out the event. I just want them to start looking in the mirror and waking up and go, we need to fix the game first. But that's all I have for this video. Thank you so much for hanging out. Make sure you check out the descriptions below to Marathon Pro. Like I said, he's a YouTuber and Twitch streamer. He does he's very, very analytical about the game. A lot of bad luck happens to him. I know because I play with him quite a amount, and bad luck happens to me when it doesn't. So check him out. Links will be in the description. It says it's supposed to be dropping today. We'll see. Maybe tomorrow because it is Europe, so Europe might be 1 hour ahead, but it's supposed to be dropping very, very soon. So I'll see you guys in the bayou. Don't put me on fire. Don't kill me. Let's just have fun. Other than that, guys, like I said, see you in my next video. Stay trendy, my friends, and for free and country.
Just do it! Make your dreams